Welcome back to IEM in Katowice, down here, ground zero ahead of the next matchup, which is going to be VP taking on Fnatic. Now, I was just looking at the poll that's been running on the IEM Twitter page, saying who's going to win this matchup, who is going to go through to the semi-finals from these two teams. It's 71% of people saying Fnatic, which is pretty much the best team in the world at the moment. But this is not what you would call a neutral audience. Madam, who's going to win this matchup? Good answer. Let me ask you, son, who's going to win this?
Virtus.
There we go. I chose the wrong two people there. Sir, who's going to win this matchup?
Of course, Virtus Pro.
That's what I wanted to hear from you there. Let's just come this way. Who's going to win this matchup?
Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro. Who's going to win this matchup?
I think Virtus Pro.
Okay, who's going to win this matchup?
Virtus.
Okay, let's ask a few more people. Very tall guy. Who's going to win?
Virtus.
He is humongous. Look at the size of him. He's a tree, he's an ent. Sir, who's going to win?
Virtus.
Okay, let's ask everyone else in there. Who's going to win this? Let's hand it backstage. We can see VP backstage right now. They're getting ready to walk out onto this stage here in Katowice. You can feel the excitement. You can feel the crowd ready to go absolutely bananas. You can cut the tension with a knife here in Katowice. So let's hand over to the man on the stage. Chobra, take it away. Let's get this on!
Ladies and gentlemen, you have all gathered here to watch good CSGO, but I can already hear you here in this stadium. You've come to see this one team. 2 years ago, here in Katowice, they created a memory that transcended CSGO and rang through the entire esports community, proving what a home crowd can do when they stand alongside the home team. I don't need a further intro for this team. Please bring your hands together for Virtus Pro! And their opponents, they met here 1 year ago, and this next team, they started to go on a tear throughout 2015 as they lifted the trophy here in the Spodek last year. They've been going strong with back-to-back successes, and leading up to this point, they're still called the #1 team in CSGO. Introducing Fnatic. Will it be the undeniable all-stars, or will it be the hometown heroes? I give to you Fnatic versus Virtus Pro!
think the crowd says it all. If this isn't the best home support in esports, I don't know what is, and I want to experience it because this is already amazing. We talked about it. This is a heavy-hitting game in so many ways. Fnatic, undeniably the world #1 team right now, going up against this crowd. But you have to think, the longest-standing 5-core team in CS right now, the longest team without a roster change at the top level of Counter-Strike, with so much experience. The oldest player in Counter-Strike, Taz, he's been through all of this before. Neo's been playing competitively, professionally, for 15, almost 16 years. They know how to handle this situation.
Yeah, they always have the belief going into these situations. You see it time and time again. They're not scared of going into these situations. They know what they have to do. They can beat the caliber of these teams, but whether they're in that kind of form right now is yet to be seen. Like, obviously, they've got through the groups just about. It was very touch and go there. But Fnatic did show some signs of weakness, I guess. They lost to Luminosity on Inferno, but that's a little bit of a different procedure, I guess. Fnatic obviously do struggle in group stages throughout the last few months, actually. Like, they don't ever go through with a clean 5-0 like we saw Astralis do. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think like it won't be a complete whitewash, but whether VP can actually step up and find the fortitude they need to actually take 2 maps from Fnatic, I'm not believing just yet.
Well, speaking of maps, we now have them. We don't know the full order of the veto, but that doesn't matter. We do get one of the ones that we we did heavily talk about, though, Train. This is the one that we thought Virtus Pro might be wise to bring out. It's the first in the pool. It also does go to Inferno. We'll talk about that when it gets there. I think there's still a chance for VP. They've struggled a lot on it this weekend, Fnatic. So Virtus Pro could be the curveball and then overpass. So if they can get this to 3, good chance. But let's start off Train, Lauren. We touched on this.
What can you say, right? This is the perfect opportunity, isn't it? You look at this matchup, you look at maybe the map, you'd think maybe there's a good shot here for Virtus Pro, the classic map that they became the gods of, right? It was like that and Nuke even long ago. They were great on, but can they rekindle that? Because let's be honest, Fnatic are no slouches on this either. They are certainly dominant on this one, but I don't know. I think it's a great platform. I just don't know if it's enough.
Well, it's gonna. I mean, I want this to go. I love this map, by the way, for this pick. I talked about it earlier. I'm just so excited for it. But what's going to be the key? I think one big player who showed up a little bit yesterday was Pasha, who we haven't seen in quite some time. They're going to need him back. They're going to need him in full force. But this is that map where if they can get off to a hot start on their T side, I think, you know, I don't know what side they're starting on, but if it's their CT, fine. But if they get started off hot on a T side, even when they switch over to it at half, if they get out to a quick run of like 4 or 5 rounds and they control that economy, that's best case scenario for Virtus Pro, and that's what gives them a window of opportunity. I
absolutely agree. I think if they get the T side here, it's actually more beneficial to them. I actually like their approach to the T side on this map. Ever since they kind of swapped up the roles a little bit and Pasha got dropped off the AWP, that's when he's given back towards the AK, and he's given more of a free roll here. They have some very fast strategies. If they get a decent spawn, they're more than happy to do an aggressive approach out on the A-bomb site. And actually, his Pasha always leading the charge of the AK-47. He seems to be able to find kills almost every single time. Very strong, very aggressive in that situation. And also he has a secondary role in this. On their more default strategies, he's actually the one lurking towards Ivy by himself, waiting for his teammates to find picks or maybe go towards inside, and then he's coming in with maybe not even the backstab. He can also get attention there as well. He's very versatile on this map, and it's one of his strongest, I think, and something that he's stepped up as well. This could be really interesting to see whether he can actually get the ball rolling here.
It's one of the strongest, but also one of the biggest pictures we saw recently when they played FaZe on Train during the Pro League. Short an online matchup, Pasha over-peaking by Ivy every single time, getting caught out, getting punished by it. And you'd assume he wouldn't have that mentality here. This is when everything should be put in that little box and just kept away, all those mistakes. But they have shown they're not the strongest anymore, so there's certainly notes to be made here.
And that goes back to a couple things that we talked about. First off, Fnatic's very good at getting trades. If you're going to solo peak, whether you get the first one or not, you can count on the fact they're going to equalize it as fast as possible. And secondly, the communication. When Pasha solo peaks to that position, we need someone like a Bialy to be there to flash him out and also hold ground if Fnatic try and reclaim it with said trade kill. So that's where we start to look for this buddy system from Virtus Pro.
One more string to their bow here going forward is Taz's clutch potential on this map is absolutely off the scale. He's so good. Obviously, we talked about playing that solo inside area towards Train, but that means he gives him ample opportunity for those 1-on-2s and even 1-on-3 sometimes. I think we saw a loads, especially at PGL. That's when he was coming in massively on the rotations. He's so good, especially on CT side. It's one of the most difficult maps to actually clutch on, considering all the different areas the T's have to find. But he's just such a veteran in those situations, and he can actually be the one that maybe carries them over the finish line if he can find that form and getting that mentality of the godlike zone of finding these clutches and making big rounds count.
And just to point out some other key situations for Virtus.pro or key scenarios in this map. Again, we talked about Taz inside, but Snax has the ability as well to also lurk the ladder. We know he's sneaky, but he's one of the best at it. And just getting into that ladder room, he gets a lot of information through noise triggers.
Not even looking out ladder all the time. It's also coming out mid, finding an angle and just holding it for stages throughout the round, waiting for some kind of smoke or some kind of distraction from his teammate. One of the sneakiest players we have. But yeah, Bialy obviously needs to show up. This outside train yard is kind of the fights that he thrives on, where it's just very small portions of the body of his opponents exposed. You can just pick off the heads behind the train, up on top of the train ladders. Those are fights that he normally does well, except for this form that we've seen. Cool. But we're forgetting one big thing, and that's this team of Fnatic, where they are so good in freewheeling situations. They're so good at figuring out the right play to make in any kind of a situation. Train lends itself to a lot of those hectic 2-on-2, 3-on-3s where you're split up off from your team, and you really need to figure out how to maneuver around the map together. And that's where Fnatic is so strong.
There is a lot of hiding places in that outer bomb site. There very much is so. I mean, post plants, we talk about that alone. When the bomb goes down, you can get into so many favorable angles, but the same goes for those situations you're talking about. I'm also curious to see, and I do want to shift back to Virtus.pro because I want to focus on the underdog in this situation. We know that they have their back against the wall. They did define another meta as well. The smoke on Ivy, right or left, and push the opposing side with an ensuing flash through it. We've seen them rotate through CC spawn in cases in this scenario. We've seen them push onto the third lane and back toward the bomb. Is that still viable, though? Because Fnatic likes to anchor that position.
It's definitely still viable. It's one of the most underused strategies, I think, within CSGO, going down the backtracks there and splitting towards the inside bomb site. That could be so valuable. If you can get that initial smoke to the right and actually pinch the inside bomb sites, these are strategies that are kind of uncharted, I guess, in CSGO so much. But it'll be interesting to see whether they can bring something like that to the table. Like I said, Pasha in that position could be so strong. He could sell those kind of fakes, and then he can bring the team over and do those sort of similar takes as well. So whether we see some creative play like that is yet to be seen, but it's definitely going to be a heavy area of contention.
And we saw Na'Vi starting to run that recently, and it paid off perfectly. Their train T-side has become formidable because they have so many of these big plays to fall back to. So if Virtus.pro found a little bit of that, it would be a perfect beginning here.
All right, we don't have a lot of time to delve into it, but let's get predictions out there because we have to. Starting with you, Lauren, just a quick number.
Why do I have to be the first? 2-0.
Because you're on the end.
2-0.
2-0. Fnatic? Any hope, Moses?
Go on, say it.
Hope is a fleeting
I'm inviting them up here to throw you off the stage.
You can already hear it coming. Fnatic, 2-0.
Oh, they're not liking that.
I got away with it. Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Henry.
Is it
Don't
my time
break
to
it
step
down.
up?
That guy,
Henry,
go on,
Take
NIP
the plunge,
fan.
baby.
Do it. Do it.
You're going to give him one, aren't you? You're going to back out.
Go on.
I'm going to have to stay true to my heart and say, considering the maps,
Would you be quick about it? My God.
considering the maps, Train's the best chance they have. I think it'll be a very close map, but unfortunately, it is going to be 2-0 in favor of Fnatic. I'm sorry.
Wow, I don't know any of these people. I just want to let you know now. I have no idea where they came from.
It's okay.
I have no idea. And you know what
Prove
the
us
other part
wrong.
of this is?
I'm glad you
also
held
the
strong.
host. I'm immune to saying predictions, so I get away with all of this. But that said, without further ado, Anders and Semler are standing by to bring you our second quarterfinal. It is the world #1 team, Fnatic, going against, I don't need to tell you, the fans will. Let's get into it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally ready with this best of 3, and it's going to be an absolutely explosive match. Everybody seems on the desk betting against Virtus.pro. Semler, you know what that means for us, right? We could be...
You never take these sorts of risks, bro. Are you? Okay, I'm going to actually flip this on you. You call the first one.
Look, I mean, Fnatic on Overpass as well. I wouldn't be so... I think if they could just win one of the first 2 matches, I think Overpass is a deciding map. Actually makes this best of 3 very exciting. So I don't know. I'm not sure I even agree with Henry.
You're worse than Henry right now, man. Just say it, Anders. Just say what you feel inside.
The thing is, I could see a world in which VP could win Inferno and lock it out. And if it goes to Overpass, then I don't know. This is a very slim chance, but I could see that happening. I'm not gonna lie, I could.
Pandering to the crowd, Anders.
Oh,
I'm thinking Fnatic 2-1, honestly. I think VP, with the power, with the 6th player that's filling this hall right now, they'll take a map.
All right.
But sorry, guys, the best team in the world is going to win this.
All right. Well, we do have 10 people on the server. We are just seconds away from getting ready with it. I can't believe that this is happening again, because every time they play in this arena, it absolutely come alive. You guys out in the car, you have to promise us that you cheer for VP. I don't hardly have to say that, but even when they're down, they're going to need that support, aren't they?
This is what it all boils down to, is the key. If VP can remember what they did in that last round versus FaZe yesterday, where they went no fear, plow mode, turned on the engine, revved it up, and Pasha slammed the pedal to the floor, then we've got a VP. Then we got a match on our hands. If they come into this cold, though, Fnatic are going to get control, and then it's going to be the same as it ever was, Anders. Fnatic are just going to crush through. So this all comes down to whether VP can remember their game. That's what it's all about. And Taz was saying it in interviews all weekend long.
Okay, so I'll reiterate what I was saying backstage about the only possible scenario I see in which VP can come away with this. I think they need to lose the first map. I think they need to start off a little bit badly on the second map, and then come through and essentially win the second half of that game, so they win the map, and then win the last map. It has to be like one quick run where Fnatic don't even know what's going on, because I think if it becomes a long, drawn-out battle, going into overtime, or even, plus 25 rounds or something like that, it doesn't work. I think they need to be swift and just catch Fnatic off guard. And I think if they win the first map, then Fnatic will have another map to adjust and think, oh, wait a minute, something's going on here. So I think it has to be right at the end and very, very quick.
Yeah, this all comes down to whether Snax is going to be able to deliver or not. He is the key player here. Him and Pasha, they've always been so important to VP and locking down series, locking down maps. And so far, both of them, they've shown up this tournament. Pasha's been playing wonderfully. A couple of questionable decisions, but still coming through for the team, managing to actually make it close. And then Snax, I mean, do we even need to talk about the ninja defuse of the year so far yesterday?
I don't know if we'll see
FaZe
that.
broke. Snax like single-handedly beat FaZe with that one play.
Well, Katowice, make some noise! It's Fnatic and Virtus Pro here, and the knife round is about to go live. First map in a best of 3, and this is a quarterfinals. Very, very exciting. We already have the first semifinals decided. Now we need to figure out who is going to be facing Astralis, and either way, it will be an absolutely insane matchup. And well, knife round here, it could be important for either team, but I think maybe especially VP, they are the underdogs here, and it's not looking bad.
It's not looking bad, but this is Crims, and Crims going full MLG. That's right. That's right.
He's so ready for it. I mean, he's got 100 health, so he could definitely get the stabs, and there's no doubt about that.
Oh, buddy. Pasha, it's all on you. Flex the biceps, bro, but it's not going to happen. And now, well, Fnatic, they get to decide which side to start on here, whether it's going to be on the CT side or the T side, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be staying CT. They want that defensive edge. They want to just, basically take the air out of the Plow's tires right at the beginning here, Anders.
Well, the crowd is already with the chanting. They were singing earlier as well. I doubt it's going to be the last time we hear that either.
And what's sick is because of how this stage is set up, you guys can actually see it coming up now in the middle there. That wall that's rising slowly with the verses on it, that's actually there so that the players, they can't see each other's faces, and so they can't see when flash nades go off. So ESLA thought of everything here in this setup. It's total secrecy. There's no edge here for either team. It's just going to be who gets the headshots and who calls the right strats. But countdown has begun to get into this pistol round, and we're going to see what VP are going to have for us here in store for their T-side pistol on train.
So far, it is actually looking like a bit of a set piece here. It's Neo and Byali, both with smokes. So, I mean, it's not going to be the raid boss build with the Tech 9 armor. It's not full Glock, so no kind of like crazy rush coming out. It seems like they want to try and see if they can get some smokes in here and make it work. But look at the Fnatic, they're actually pushing up down at Ivy. A quick trade comes through. JW going to be taken down by Ali, and that's going to favor Fnatic for the moment here. In a 3 versus 4, Flusher even checking, and that's some great information play coming out here. Olive putting up a smoke, and I'd say a solid start right now for the Swedes.
Yeah, that was very well done. They've set it up so that they could trade frags, so that they could come out ahead so long as they hit the headshots. And so far, JW, he did just that, and he gave Fnatic the edge. But I do like VP showing themselves over on the B side. That was very wise by the 2 veterans, Neo and Taz. They make sure that Fnatic have to stay honest on the B side. And in the meantime, it's going to be a push onto A. But Snax, he's got the bomb, and he's over an alley. So this could get really tricky. Exactly. If JW gets that kill on him, now the bomb is in the middle of nowhere. And it's just going to turn into a disaster here for Virtus Pro. It's all on Neo with 5 HP left.
And he can't even really, as you said, he can't steal the bomb away and at least get that bonus. He's just looking for a kill here. It's not going to happen. JW with 3 sublime shots from the USPS. And that is going to be it. And that's a bit of a shame because Taz actually got quite far into the A-bomb site before whatever Snacks goes down. That takes all the attention away from Ivy, and they're free to do whatever they want. So Fnatic starting off with the first pistol round here, the quarterfinals, and they respond with, all right, 1 SMG, 1 Max 7, so a little bit of respect. And VP coming through with the buy here that looks like they want to try and see if they can just get the bomb down.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're aiming for here. They are setting up for that smoke execute, so it used to be there were 2 ways to do it. Either you rushed out onto the B site or you planted behind that barrel on the old version where you could almost guarantee a bomb plant. It was the standard go-to kind of eco-round play for the T side, just to guarantee that money that was going to come in if you lost the round. So long as you got the bomb down, you get a bonus $800 on everybody involved. So now we have to see if VP are actually going to be able to pull this off, because Fnatic, they have to be wise here. And Crims, he's playing in a position where he should be able to put some pressure on VP once they start this push.
Well, the wall of smokes is coming in. Crims is definitely going to get smoked off here, but he's going to make it up on the train. He's just waiting up behind it. He's just looking for the timing, and somehow he actually managed to do quite a bit of damage. Flusher with the grenade kill, or sorry, with the FAMAS coming in, and a bit of a Max 7 shot. The bomb goes down, and that's all VP wanted. So already, successful round. If they could have got a kill, it would have been even better, but still, they make their money back from the smokes and then some, and that's all that they wanted.
Yeah, that is exactly what they were looking for. What was also sick about what Fnatic went off there, I mean, Olofmeister, he just pushed up into Brown Halls. He sat there, and they just started to push him behind. So the flank just comes in immediately, and Fnatic, it's just an easy situation there for them to get control of. But they do get the bomb plant, Virtus.pro. They just don't really have enough money for a full buy. So it's going to be another round of pistols for them. And hopefully they'll be able to actually get some kills, because if Fnatic get another perfect anti-eco down, it's going to get real nasty for VP, because Fnatic will have a whole lot of room to work with, a lot of room for error.
Yeah, more money for the Polish team to try and dig through, and you know that's not going to be easy on the T side of train either. Flusher putting up a couple of shots there. Grenade rains in, actually tags Neo quite heavily. So far, so good. And Fnatic also playing very defensively. They're not taking the battle up close to the entrance of the courtyard here. They're really staying defensive, and it seems to be paying out right now. So you've got to give it to Fnatic here. Just a solid couple of rounds coming through, even if there's not much opposition. Actually, Taz coming through with a great double headshot, and that really makes a difference. Now, can they save one of the rifles? No, Olofmeister stays with the Max 7.
And you hit the nail on the head there, Anders, and you saw the turning point where Flusha decided to get aggressive. Flusha decided to say, okay, enough of the safe play. Let's go and take the fight to him. And guess what? Taz is waiting for him. So that was actually really well done by Taz, because that was shaping up to be a perfect anti-eco for Fnatic. But because Flusha decided to jump the gun and get in there close where the P250, that headshot range, instant headshot range becomes a danger, he walks right into it, and Taz actually makes that a fairly decent round for Virtus.pro. Now again, Olofmeister with that Max 7, he wants to get aggressive. He wants to get close quarters. He's looking for that shot. Neo backs off, though. Once that smoke goes down, Neo has to realize that there's a risk that Olofmeister could go for this kind of play.
Yeah, we've seen multiple players playing very well. Taco, Sipex as well on Astralis. They're all very good at it, and they're sort of opening up and shutting down Neo, stealing the AK and walking away, so it didn't even matter that he didn't save the M4 from the previous round. Another very good start there, in spite of Neo being aware of the potential. Just wasn't quick enough, but here comes the reply. Taz and Snacks opening up, and JW get one in return. Pasha also taking out Dennis. It's a 2 versus 3 here, and it is looking good for the Poles, even if Taz and Pasha are both low on health.
This is still scary. They're not out of the doghouse just yet. They don't have anything to really make this plant easier either. They're trying to be wise here, Virtus.pro, rather than push through the smoke where JW is camping. They're going to just change up the angle of attack, maybe try and group up, because Bialy's now in main. Pasha looking for the backstab coming in, and now that actually this is taking so long that Fnatic start to doubt themselves. Fnatic start to think, wait a second, could they be wrapping back to B? Did they get their eyes on the bomb when that push came through? Regardless, Pasha's going to get caught, but this could still allow for Bialy to get the refrag, and that smoke going down actually works against Olofmeister in the end.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was afraid of getting shot in the back and just wanted to be a bit defensive there. JW spots one out. That's Taz going down with the bomb dropped as well. And now Bialy here with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's got 20 seconds, and we can tell from the minimap he's got a chance to get the bomb down. Both JW and Olof are wrapping around on the side of the bomb side here, and Bialy's not quite sure yet, but he's going to have to come up with a huge double kill right now. They're sneaking up from either side. They're going to get the timing down very well, I expect, and they have a lot of grenades as well to zone him out. He just makes it around the corner. The timing is practically unreal here as Bialy hiding over by Ivy. They are setting up for it. He walked right in, and Olofmeister gonna pick up that kill, making it a triple, and you see them putting up the smoke. They were prepared for some sort of fight, even if that didn't work out. So Fnatic taking a critical round here. That's the pistol and the 4th round, both won.
Gotta admire how both teams really took advantage of the time, though. The additional time now, 10 seconds to the round, 5 seconds on that defuse. Virtus.pro, they didn't rush into anything. They didn't try and risk it. They tried to work together as a unit to get that bomb down. And then Fnatic, they just work as the buddy system. They work together to get that retake going. Right now, though, in this key round, the crowd comes alive because Virtus.pro need it. They really need to put a stop to this Fnatic momentum early on here. And Olaf, once again, just making sure that Virtus.pro can't get comfortable. But there we go. This is what we're talking about. Bialy just goes charging out. Nobody close enough for the refrag. But that kind of bravery, that's what VP need.
I have to agree, but they also need an entry frag, and they haven't had one yet. JW going to be shutting one more player down, and Flusher with 16 health, playing at the edge of the smoke. It's going to be passionate reply, but an excellent round from Fnatic here. Also, one of the grenades that rained in there by Electric did a lot of damage. So overall, it's a pretty solid defense. Now, the trouble is, if you're in Virtus.pro shoes here, you've got to make a decision. Was that a bad round because it was a bad call, or because we didn't get the entry? Because one of these rounds can be very, very different if you just get the opening frag. And
exactly,
you know, that doesn't mean you should just toss it away and say, we'll never run that strat again. You can, you know, try and replicate it maybe later on. Obviously, this is not the round for it. They don't have a lot, and they're still trying to buy it up here, which is interesting. And
Olafmeister's got a great read on the economy right now. They hear pistols going off as well, so that's the glass being broken to allow for an A execute with the smokes if VP want. Well, Olafmeister, he's not pushing too aggressive just because there is that risk of the P250s being around. So he has to still play a little careful. He doesn't want to get rushed down. He doesn't want to give a rifle away. And the rest of Fnatic also playing very passively, way far back from main. Up and sniper here. Dennis, free kill for him. This is the anti-spot basically to this smoke execute because you can see over them. Some bravery coming on there from Neo, and Bialy also goes charging into Link, and really nothing is working here for Virtus.pro. But at least they get the bomb plant.
Oh, if you could have had one bullet on Flusher there, that would have also been a kill. But yeah, the bomb plant goes through, and that's going to give them enough money to buy at least. They already had about 2,000 and then some on every player. They're up to 6,000 or more, nearly 7,000 on every player right now on Virtus.pro. Again, they're playing on the less favorite side, and you can tell they're a bit slow out the gates as well. 1 kill on Snacks, 1 on Bialy, 0 on Neo. So some of the players just a little bit slow at the beginning here, and that you have to expect that's going to change at some point.
Well, now we actually have the ops coming out. Well, JW's had his, but VP Snacks, he's able to pick one up, and he's going to be fine now. Oh, wow, JW really is. They're going to go super aggressive here, and this actually might catch VP off guard. Unluckily for VP, well, for Fnatic, rather, nobody is there, but this is so much information gained now for JW. Fnatic just bought his team a lot of time. They could actually rotate an extra man over to B if they wanted to. He's not seeing anybody getting set up. This could still mean A. This could still mean that all of Virtus.pro are in A main and Pop Dog. But it seems like Virtus.pro are finally willing to take the fight towards the B site here.
Ooh, timing just a little bit off. Olaf gonna throw out a defensive Molotov, maybe even a bit earlier than he needed to. Still a lot of time left here, but excellent peek from Crims, who hasn't seen too much action yet. But he's gonna win that fight against Pasha, and he really wants to go back as well. He's gonna put up a smoke and just focus on the main entrance here, but right now, VP, they need these entry frags. That's one of the big issues they're facing here, is that they're just not getting them. JW sneaking up behind, he's pulling out the AWP, he's not scoped in, he misses the shot as well, and that could have been lethal. Are they gonna come and hunt him here? 45 seconds, he misses one more shot, grenade out, right on top of himself, and oh no! Suicide by JW, trapped in the corner. And that's going to be a 4-on-4 now with 30 seconds left. And now they got to move quick, and they need, again, an entry frag. Just a single one. A third man is rotating in there. Snacks opening up on Dennis. This might be around for VP if they can keep their focus here. Flusher in the back lines looking for an opening, and he's going to get it on Taz. Brings it back to a 3-on-3. That bomb should be going down in just about 15 seconds.
And this all comes down to Bialy, whether he can catch out Flusher here, and he will be able to. 2-on-1 now. Crims still so consistent. He's alive, and with 7 seconds left, the bomb gets planted. So it's now down to Neo, who's at half HP, versus Crims, who has no utility to work with. This is all going to come down to the mind games. Who's going to get the peak? Who's going to get the timing? There's Crims. He gets spotted. So they're fair now. They're even. Both of them half, and now Neo knows exactly where Crims is coming from. So he changes up his position, and life just got very difficult for Crims, who's going to step out into the open. And it's going to be Neo to pick up the first round for VP in a clutch. Finally, VP get on the board.
There we go. Some good, solid play. And I mean, Snacks in that round. That one opening frag into the bomb site, it makes such a big difference. Fnatic actually had a good read. They were rotating a third man in. So heads up play again. But now it's a double AWP setup for the Fnatic side. And Neo, see if he could get an opening with his AWP.
This is where it starts to really ratchet up, though, because VP, they got over the first hurdle. They're on the board. Now the second one is here. They need to get that chain going, and JW is the one who's going aggressive. What is this? He jumps up. Can he actually get the nade? No, he manages to back off just in time, Neo. He's not going to eat any damage there. So pretty much a fair trade, actually, between both of them. They're both very low. But that is some info gained, at least for Fnatic. They know there was a potential setup there at the pop, and now Taz is going to go ahead and take a fight.
That was a very weird engagement. I'm a bit worried about Neo staying up there because he's very close where he could be wallbanged or grenaded down. So with 7 health, just takes one person from Fnatic to try and put some shots through, and all hell's going to break loose. You see, they've already actually fired through, and Neo is standing right on top of it. All right. Smoke is being set up, and they're going to go for the same A execute that they've been trying a couple of times. They're pushing 1 Ivy and 1 Pop Dog as well, and here it comes with about 50 seconds left on the clock. Can they actually get the entry? Again, this is really important when pushing this courtyard, and they are slowing down a bit behind it. In fact, it looks like they're going to switch it up and put a lot of emphasis on Ivy instead. Snack's going to be going down early on, and Dennis is in a great position here. Fnatic, they've got a good read on what's happening, but he goes down anyway. Taz with a strong opening, now 30 seconds left. VP are running this very, very close to the limit. Flusher hiding in the corner. 1 grenade rains in, flashbang out. VP, now's the time to go. Flusher is going to get traded as well as back into a 3-on-3. VP, they need this round. They can't get reset. Flusher, he's dead already, but Olof is going to get the kill. There's Neo going down. Crims defending and backing up Olofmeister, and Pasha dies as well. The reset comes through, economically speaking, and Fnatic now at 7-1. What a strong start for them.
A strong series of duels, and this is again where that team play starts to come in from Fnatic. Olofmeister's able to take that aggressive position towards A main because he has his teammate in Pop Dog. He doesn't have to worry about that angle. He can just sit there, camp, and wait for somebody to try and set up a play for Virtus.pro. Dennis did make an error by going for the repeak once he got the info, but still, Fnatic, they're just so good at playing in even situations, man-down situations, that it doesn't really make a difference in the end. He just guarantees he gets the info for his teammates to play off of. And now Cribs with the Bison. He's got a billion bullets. He's going to get a couple of kills. Olofmeister.
The quad spray.
He gets the quad spray. This is the ultimate in teamwork, though. Crims is like, don't worry, fam. I'll soften him up for you, and you go ahead and get the job done, right?
That's exactly what happened. Just put a couple of bullets in on either one, and all of there to clean it up. Olofmeister, incidentally, is also went 12-0-1 as a scoreline, with Crims close behind that OLGB combo, 11-1-3. So this is a very, very powerful start, obviously. You are just waiting. You're just hoping that VP could find a way to get back in here. Again, another push for Fnatic down at Ivy. They weren't punished last time, so they're going to go and check for the information again. And this works really heavily against Virtus.pro, because not only do Fnatic get the information, VP don't even know that they have it. Nice push coming in, but Snacks is going to get shut down just off the timing by a second there.
And he spots the second man as well. So much information here to go off of for Flusha. Flash is going out, buying even more time. There's at least a little bit of info for Neo, and a great spray from him. Long distance, but then JW and Olofmeister come into the thick of it, and Flush is there for the backstab. Fnatic, it just doesn't seem that they drop more than 2 players in these rounds. Every time, they just instantly shift up, and then it's just that vice that locks down onto Virtus.pro. That A site, there's just so many angles, and Flusha, he's just so good at hitting that timing. But it does seem like we actually have the pause coming out here now for Virtus.pro, and they're not going to be able to buy behind it. So it's more like they just need to try and stop Fnatic's momentum here, slow down the pace. I'm curious to hear. I would be really curious to hear what Taz has to say right now, actually, because it is Snacks calling right now. But between Neo, Snacks, and Taz, they've all taken up that in-game leader role for the team in the past. So they're all going to have something to say. It's just whether they can get on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, they definitely need to cool down just a little bit. Again, it's a best of 3. They knew Fnatic was going to be strong on this map. But right now, if they want to stay competitive, I think they need to land at least 5 rounds, which means they're really near the edge right here. And I mean, you've got to expect that Fnatic will pick up this upcoming round. That means essentially VP needs to string together 4 rounds. I'm not sure you can have one timeout and figure out how to do that. But they had that one round where they rushed into the A bomb site and they got shut down because they got no entry.
Yeah.
They haven't really tried to sort of revisit that. Every other thing has been much more slow and much more sort of calculated, which would be great if it was working, but it obviously isn't. So now maybe it is time to revisit some of that aggression here. This is going to be another round for a bomb plant. 4 smokes here. Not a bad idea, I think.
Yeah, again, just going for that guaranteed money is what they want here. And they are going to actually, this might be a fake. JW might be in the perfect spot. They should be going into Pop Dog here. it seems. Neo and Taz again taking up their usual spots, setting up the smokes, and there we go. Yeah, straight out through Pop Dog, straight onto the A site. And once those smokes land, it's all about getting that bomb plant down now for Virtus Pro. Big spray coming out from Crims, not going to connect with anything. And Flusha just holding the line. He's been so effective here in this position. But look at this. I mean, so far, VP, they've managed to pull this off perfectly. Bomb down, and they're only one man down. Pasha drops low, but this is still a situation where they could at least do some damage to Fnatic.
Look at how far away JW. He's only now just showing up in C-Connector where someone's running in. That's actually going to be Neo, and he does a little bit of damage. Flusha with the kill as well. There's so much time still on that bomb, and that's going to really work against VP. Taz, yeah, it's not a lot that he could do in this position. Has to just think about walking away if he's not going to feed a kill for no apparent reason. 10-1 is going to be the scoreline here for the Fnatic team. Virtus Pro, they've been very successful, but look, there are sort of two ways to look at this. You can either think, well, Fnatic, they're not doing very well defending that bomb plant, but on the other hand, if they try and defend it, they have to play by electric, they have to play near that first carriage, and that's within P250 range. So instead of Fnatic sort of risking denying that $800 bonus, they just say, well, we just win every round instead. No reason to risk it. We'll let you get the bomb down, but we'll win all of them.
Even then, we're only really seeing Fnatic go aggressive. We've only seen a couple rounds where they've gone aggressive on the A side, taking up close positions towards the A main. I mean, Fnatic right now are just really relying on that passive play and their aim carrying through. Nice little HE there to tag him up, but Bialy takes out JW. That's over by Ali as well. So things are going to get crazy here. Dennis tries to push through, and he gets between both players up in Brown Halls. So man advantage here for Virtus Pro. They still have a whole lot of utility to work with as well. And now it gets really tricky for Flusha. He gives away his position by chucking in that incendiary as well. So now Flusha, he's boxed in. He doesn't know if somebody's at A main in his back. And so he has to just try and get something done by holding this line and exactly delaying long enough for Crims to rotate into position.
That was a weird battle there that Dennis was in. Not sure exactly what happened, but Pasha walking out here, gonna get the spray down. Flusha hit in the face with the AK, and now smoke up to prevent anyone from shooting him in the back as well. They are on the bomb side. Snacks is about to put the bomb down. Taz is right here covering a 2-on-4. This has to be a win for VP, and Taz getting a kill as well, shutting down Olofmeister. And Crims gonna have to walk away from this one. That is finally going to be 10-2 here. And Virtus Pro picking up around. And the money for Fnatic, and this is the big issue, JW is $100 short of 16,000. And Olofmeister's practically at 15. And when the round resets here, it's going to be outrageous. They can basically play the rest of this half with the buying. So VP, they're going to have to dig very deep for something here. Nice shot from Snacks, though.
Yeah.
They managed to find Crims at least.
He does catch Crims, and you're right. I mean, they don't have to worry about ecoing anytime soon, Fnatic. So there are no easy rounds here for Virtus Pro, but again, Virtus Pro, they get that entry kill, and they were able to get in there very quickly and take advantage of it this time. Seems like we actually have just a quick little hiccup here. Dennis has to relog the game, so we'll be right back into this. It's not a tactical pause on anybody's part.
Yeah, but listen to that crowd in the meantime. That's what they need right now.
Yeah.
They have to get another 3 rounds. I don't think anything less than 5 here is going to be acceptable. And we are already in with the unpause, so just a tiny tech issue, and we're good to go again.
There we go. Yep. All right, we're back.
They have Molotovs, and we have not seen very many Molotov-heavy executes, which most of the time now you see run towards the B-bomb side because you can use them once the bomb is down. You all seen that great play where you save the one Molotov up on the high ground. Yep. Can also be used to firebomb out the back of the actual bomb train. So maybe they would try and do something like that. It seems like they're actually being very aggressive out into the courtyard here, with Pasha just moving up. JW actually missing a shot. Pasha charging in. He's going to get that shot on Flusha. Running for more and almost getting Dennis as well down to half health. A great start here for Pasha.
Where is the follow-up, though? They're so slow to get in behind Pasha. The space that he's created is now tightened up. It's closed as Fnatic are able to spot out the fact that they are getting onto this A site. Now it's going to be down to VP to hold.
JW's in the middle of them. He's still in here in spite of the fact that they've taken the whole courtyard. He missed a shot, falls right down into the waiting arms of Bialy. Olofmeister gonna get a kill, but Dennis goes down, and Virtus Pro, based off of what has to be considered a mad play from Pasha, and it seems to be working out. Olof putting down a Molotov, but he's getting shot in the back. Krim's gonna pick one up, but it might have been too late here. It's a 1-on-2. He does have a kit, but no smoke, so he can't go for any sneaky defusers, and he goes down to Neo. That's now 2 in a row, making it 10-3.
There we go. And Pasha serving as the entry fragger, just running in there. That's what we've been talking about this entire tournament long, and that's exactly what Taz wants from the team as well. Get out there, be brave, take the fights the way you used to, where it's not just about winning, it's about destroying your opponents. And now Pasha finally flexes those biceps, gets into their faces, and Fnatic, they just can't recover. So now this is, I mean, can VP maintain that pace? Can they actually hit those entries as they go charging onto the site? They have to keep their cool and get the last 2 rounds here in this first half. Again, they're just spreading out. They haven't even gone to B. Like, they just don't care about the B site. It's all about A right now for Virtus Pro.
And actually, the Fnatic bank has run out, so if they can just string together a 3rd round here, well, Fnatic are going to have something, but it's not a lot in the last round. Taz just flashed a little bit by a teammate there, but they get a lot of control of Ivy. Look at this. Nobody here from Fnatic right now. That might give a big opening. Snacks walking through the fire, right into Flusher, and that's exactly the kind of play we expect from Snacks. Neo picking up Dennis as well. He's down by Pop Dog. He's going to get shot down by Crims, and Fnatic, they got to defend this. They can't let VP back into the game, but they might have a choice. Fired out of the sniper spot, and JW very low on health. He's going to get wallbanged down by Pasha, and now it's Olaf and Crims. It's a 2-on-4, and VP seem to have done it again. They're in a man advantage. They've got the health, they've got the rifles. Olaf sneaking through the smoke, but Taz, did he spot him? He didn't, and there's going to be the headshot anyway. He spots the angle, and Crims in a 1-on-3. A lot of resolve being pulled out here from VP. They don't break so easily.
And they finally got some momentum going their way. That's the main thing, and they're feeding off of it. Interesting choice by, Fnatic to basically give up alley control to allow themselves to get sandwiched in there. Flusha got caught reloading by Snacks. And again, it's basically like Virtus Pro, they're getting this first kill, and then they just keep that pressure up from there. That's the plow mode engaged. Get the entry and never let go. Bit of a tough break there for Flusha getting caught, but still, this is excellent here from Virtus Pro. Now they're shaping up to be able to take this last round, considering the money isn't going to be super solid here for Fnatic. But then we might actually see Fnatic really just try and go aggressive here. Say enough is enough. Prince drops a rifle, and then they just decide to go and take the fight to VP. Because this is another way to counter it. If Virtus Pro are just rushing at you, you can just get those nades in and just try and, smash into them as well.
What's weird is that their Ivy pushes from Fnatic haven't been called yet. They've just not met anyone. Dennis trying over at the B slope, and that didn't quite work out here. That timeout for VP really came back and worked well. They just managed to identify what the weakness was, and it seems to have been this A-bomb site for Fnatic. Olaf was moving up a little bit over at the slope, but he's only going to do a bit of damage as Neo trying to see if he could check out here. He's actually going to lose Snacks right in front of him, and Olaf is still by that smoke.
That's incredibly frustrating. Timing is everything. Pasha lurks out into the A site in the middle of nowhere, and Dennis is going to pick him off easily. Just too many angles there for him to worry about. Taz, however, will find Crims, and now it's Flusha camping out on the train. But this is the timing. Olafmeister, he gets stuck on the ladder, and it's a free kill for Neo.
Yeah, but they won't know. There's a second player coming up behind. This is a huge play for Fnatic. And there's JW taking one and a second, dropping the bomb. Not going to get planted. That was a fantastic positional play coming in from JW and a great mind game. They just weren't expecting it, and Taz ends up going down. And it's going to be 11-4 here. Fnatic with a very strong first half. You got to think as well, VP's stringing those 3 rounds together, giving themselves as much of a chance as they can here in the first half. They need that pistol round similar, otherwise this is not going to work.
Yeah, this is like some old school train scores going on here. Fnatic just locking down that CT side, 11 rounds to them. VP are the ones who are going to be struggling. And all of the pressure, I'd say, is on VP. Because Fnatic's T side is very strong on train. They just roll over you. They're not afraid to take the duels. They're not afraid to change the pace. They can go for the slow setups just like they can rush. So Virtus Pro, it's all about landing this pistol right now and getting that crowd behind them, getting that hype going, and really putting as much pressure on Fnatic's mindset as possible.
Now, you know what a somewhat recent trend for VP is when they have enough money, that double up Ultra Sniper setup. So if they can win the pistol and sort of get off to that fantastic start, I bet they're going to go for that. I bet they're going to end up with double up Auto Sniper. And actually, if you do that on train, you can get some fairly big lockouts on this map. It's a very powerful tool. So we'll see if they even get into that position. There are a lot of requirements before you can start investing into that kind of thing. But yeah, just a bit of an extended break between the 2 halves here. And we'll be right back into it. But you gotta wish. I mean, I think this is the power of having a timeout. Especially we have someone like Cuban, who we had that interview with on the team as well. You get to breathe a little bit. And you think, what rounds have worked or what rounds have been close? Where have they shown any kind of weakness? And they knew from all the rounds where they put the smokes up in A bomb side, they knew, well, Fnatic actually do play very defensively on that courtyard. Maybe we can sneak someone in there. They managed to do a bunch of rounds and get some openings. Well, a bunch, I say, but they had a couple of rounds there where they snuck Pasha out. And just maybe the defensive setup for in A there is what VP realized. Wait a minute, we can actually use this to at least get the bomb down and ultimately win the round.
Now, Pasha seems to be, these are also things that Vugo is probably going to be picking up on right now, is that Pasha seems he's getting into these positions, but he's also struggling to lock down some kills. And so Fnatic, they know that he plays alley. That might be a point of contention for them that they try to abuse. Go after Pasha, see if you can put the pressure on him. At the same time, Olafmeister is also very good at sneaking out through main and finding those timings to create space for his team to put pressure on that A site. So those are two factors that could come into play here. I mean, Fnatic are very versatile as well. They're not afraid to go out onto that B site. What was interesting is that Virtus.pro, they almost forgot that there was a B site. Olafmeister, with his pushes up into brown halls, wrecked them a couple of times, and it seems like since that moment, they just weren't interested in going onto that side of the map. Virtus.pro, they were just going to keep rinsing and repeating on that A side until something worked.
I'm just looking over all of the rounds here. There's only one round out of the 11 that Fnatic won where they lost more than 2 players. One of them they lost 3, and that was the 4th round. Otherwise, they had 3 people or more alive at every other round. That's actually mad.
It's dominant. It's like Fnatic, they don't even let it get into a clutch situation. They'll just shut you out right off the bat. So yeah, it's all on VP now, just trying to weather the storm, because now it's going to be Fnatic controlling the pace. Virtus.pro, they had the chance to go aggressive to try and really, take control of the match, of the situation. Now it's all about them. I mean, they can still go aggressive on the CT side, but they have to think of themselves as a wall now, just Fnatic, you shall not pass.
I think the problem is when Fnatic got this far ahead, if you play the style that Fnatic just did, sort of a little bit static and a little bit defensive, most of the rounds anyway, the problem becomes eventually Fnatic will do the same thing. They'll take a timeout, they'll realize where the weaknesses are, and then they'll hit it. And they don't need that many rounds, so you can't. I think they need to switch up their defense almost round for round. Like try and just keep Fnatic guessing all the time, assuming that is they win that pistol.
That is one of the crazy qualities of Fnatic, though. I mean, you guys just saw there when we were panning over them. It's like, oh yeah, your tournament life, all that, best of 3 match versus a very solid team. What are we doing? We're just giggling along, we're having a good time, right? Those guys, it's with the Dennis change into that, it really seems like, it's just like 5 very good friends that are all trolls almost, just love to have a good time. And so that takes a lot of pressure off of them as well, because right now, I mean, they've got 11,000 people here in this location. Well, maybe a little bit less than that. I saw some Fnatic jerseys out there. I saw the Fnatic flag. But
there were a few brave people.
There are a few brave people here. But yeah, they have a whole stadium that are rooting against them. So the ability to just kind of get some levity into the room and joke around and have fun, it's taking their mind off of that and getting them focused onto this game.
Yeah, now near as I can tell, there was a headset being swapped out for Snacks, so that might be what's taking a couple of seconds here. Making sure the team speed works and all those things shouldn't be much of an issue, I expect. And actually, this might help VP just a little bit to calm down. Bit of a rough first half. Now you get a bit of a time to breathe. You get to talk, extensively about what you're going to do in the pistol round. If you have any kind of neat tricks coming up, or if you're just going to try and play it plainly and look for pistol shots.
I can see Fnatic just going for the straight up YOLO onto B. I mean, it's such a powerful strat. I'm really surprised actually that we didn't see Virtus.pro attempt it once, because really you get a single smoke up to block off connector, a single flash. You have one guy go utility, everybody else just goes Kevlar, and you just YOLO onto that site, straight run and gun. And with how Fnatic are, basically everybody on Fnatic right now, they're in the teens as far as the frags are concerned. Everybody's hitting shots. You can just roll right over that first line of defense and get into it. So, I mean, Virtus.pro right now, they have to be considering that. It's almost a gamble for VP. Where are they going to put the majority of their players? How are they going to approach this? Do they just go straight Kevlar and back off?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we do get into the second half, we're going to have a quick 1-minute break, and then we will be back with the second half here in the best of 3 quarterfinals between Fnatic and Virtus.pro. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, here. It's going to be the second half now between Fnatic and Virtus Pro. A little bit of a break, but we sorted out all the issues, and now we're good to go here. 11-4 for the first half. A bit of a rough start here for the home team, but with a little bit of support from the crowd, they should be able to make it back. So Katowice, make some noise.
You gotta make a lot of noise because VP need the help. Let's go. Virtus Pro, what do they have for us? Okay, Snacks actually goes for an incendiary. This is fun. This is interesting. Because where does he want to actually use this? I mean, there was a lot of focus, obviously, on Taz locking down this B site. But Snacks, if that smoke goes up, well, there is no smoke, so there's nothing to worry about there. But if the rush comes in, Snacks has an incendiary to actually do quite a bit of damage to Fnatic. Doesn't seem like Fnatic are too interested in it for now, though. They're peeking around on this map. Bit of a default setup for them, just trying to feel out the VP defense to see if VP were going to do anything desperate.
Well, look at what Fnatic have on the other hand. All armor and Glock here. So they are just waiting for one opportunity. If they spot any crack in the armor here, they are all going to unleash on the site. So right now, they're just sort of scouting around, seeing if anyone from VP is going to try anything crazy. But at one point, they're definitely all going to go at the same time. They don't even have a flash or anything to pop themselves in with. Nobody sacrificing themselves to get any kind of utility there. Might be a bit crazy here, but a strong start for Olof. Snacks jumping over, taking the fight as well. If he dies, this might go horribly wrong. And Olof, he's going to get a second kill in the streak here, and almost a third. There it is. Flusher going to finally go down to Pasha, but Olof just utterly annihilating this bomb site. JW goes down as well, but it's all on Pasha, and he drops to Crims. A quad kill for Olof Meister in the pistol round. What a decisive way to start for Fnatic.
Okay then, Olof. We get it. You're the best player in the world. Chill, bro. Quad kill in the pistol, that is so key. We just spent 10 minutes hyping it up for VP. Olof was like, I'm bored, I'm done with this.
Well, the thing is, he's fighting at that distance, so the Glock is not supposed to have the advantage either.
And he just insta-dinks Taz and Snacks both. I mean, well, nice attempt there from VP with the HEs to try and catch Fnatic setting up for something aggressive, but it just wasn't going to happen. JW just taking minimal nade damage, 5 damage there. And now, well, VP, they haven't gone for the force, so they give themselves some options. They're really going to hope that they can just get a solid buy with all the utility on board and shut down Fnatic when it really matters. Nice push from Snacks, though, to actually get some information here. So at least VP have that.
Yeah, I think going for the force right now would also that would be maybe a bit much. I mean, either way, they're in a really tough spot, but I kind of agree with what they just did. I don't think that's such a bad play. Taz coming in and catching Olof off guard there, grenade in hand. It's going to be a bit of a treat for him. See if they can build something on the back of it. I mean, what he stole is not exactly a great treasure, is it? It's just a MAC-10, and because they all have armor, it's going to be very tough for Taz to find a kill with it. At this range, I almost wish he'd continued to use the pistol instead, but he is going to try for it here, and with a bit of a, maybe a bit of a decoy on a teammate, it might work out. Taz close to where they're coming in from, but JW will shut him down. Pasha in the back line here, just hoping for a headshot and not getting it, and, well, Fnatic, they're taking care of business right now. JW with a double kill there.
They have no reason to fear Virtus Pro right now. Everything is going Fnatic's way. They are landing all their shots. Flusha making money, and he's going to be able... No, he gets robbed. Doesn't get the last kill. But yeah, Fnatic right now, they have absolutely no fear or respect for Virtus Pro. They're just going to go ahead and get into the fight as quickly as possible, especially after Olof. I mean, seeking revenge for Olof, essentially. Olof had a nice 4-to-1 ratio going. Now that's been spoiled. He's only 21-6.
Maybe I'm just too much of a fan of this setup, but I like the fact that they got 5 grenades again, because the thinking has to be, they saw us do it once, surely they're not going to think we'll do it again, and actually there are a couple of people coming in here, grenades raining in, and oh, they did almost no damage. I think he just made it around the corner there, JW, and that's a bit of a shame for VP, because that was, I think it's a nice setup, but just doesn't pan out this time either. Dennis, Crims, Oliver with a couple of returns there, and that's going to be the round. Swift, one of the fastest rounds, I think, of Train here so far. And we are at 14-10.
And this is the moment now. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Neo, he gets his AWP because they were just not investing too much in the past couple of rounds. HEs, a couple of pistols. They have the money for the incendiaries. They have a good buy here, Virtus Pro. But this is it. It's now or nothing. Their backs are to the wall, 14-4. Fnatic could very well pick up map point here. So, VP, what do they have in store for us? Are they going to go aggressive anywhere? They're going to try and get in Fnatic's face, and it does look like it's going to be the quick push into upper halls. They're going to try and catch out Olof Meister and Flush, and it works so far. Nicely done here. Olof, however, still holding that angle, but Taz, he's so wise, backs off, and, well, never mind. The headshot from Olof somehow catches him before he can get out.
What a ridiculous shot. He actually jumped back as well. Somehow he caught him. through the ceiling in that hallway?
Don't even know, because that was so perfect. VP, they got the initial kill. They were backing off to play the advantage. Olaf just wouldn't let him.
And you could tell how Taz had a lot of decisions to make as well.
Unreal. And well, now that kind of leaves us stumped. Now it's just like, all right, VP, a little bit of a shock to the system there. But Fnatic, once again, this favors them. They've got control of Pop now. Crim's trying to bait a response out of Virtus.pro. At least Virtus.pro are doing a good job of managing their utility. We're down to 50 seconds. They still have a smoke. They still have full nades on Pasha, in fact. So this could come in handy if it comes down to a retake scenario. But they have to cover so much ground. Train, big map. Lots of angles. And there's only 2 players on this A side. It's about to get hot and heavy in here.
Down to 40 seconds as well. Bayali, good opening there, but Pasha can't follow through on JW, and Bayali out of the opening, spraying furiously. He actually gets a kill on Crims. Might have been more than he could have hoped for there. Down to less than 30 seconds here. Snacks opening up. Big kill on Olaf, and now it's down to a 1-on-2. And JW with the AK out here. He does not have a lot of time. Virtus.pro, they should be able to just zone him out here. There's a good smoke going up into C connector here, but he has to get the bomb and try and find a safe angle to plant in the next 10 seconds, and it's just not going to happen. Snacks picking up a double kill, and that will be Virtus.pro winning the one round they really have to win here. Now they need to build on top of it another 11 in a row unless they want to end up in overtime here.
Exactly. And Fnatic, they have more than enough money to go for the full buy here in this situation, so it's not the end of the world for them. Virtus.pro, they're not out of the doghouse yet. But that A defense, I mean, just coming up trumps right there. Fnatic just ran right into the bulldozer. A bit surprised that there was perhaps some miscommunication. That quick rotation over from B, it just made all the difference. It completely saved VP, and now it's all on Fnatic to actually stop this from getting out of control. Oh, clever. Trying to see over that smoke, but I don't think it's going to work.
VP, just complete silence here in the Spodek Arena. Everyone waiting to see who is going to get that opening frag, because you know how much it's going to matter as well. Fnatic, they have all the utilities still intact. VP, they're slowly using theirs, you can tell. Neo and Pasha have kept what they could here, but they've got to be careful. If it ends up with a retake, they're going to need a smoke somewhere, especially if it's a B hit. They need a smoke for that high ground or for the defuse. One way or the other, they can't afford to use all of them just yet. 50-some seconds here.
This is smart here from Flusha. He's breaking some glass in case anybody was holding close to Pop. They would hear that. A couple of nades going out onto the A side just to keep him honest here, VP, but the push is going to begin here on the B side, and there's Neo lighting him up. Taz gets caught, however, and Neo as well. Big headshots coming out here to open things up for Fnatic, and it's all on Snacks now to try and do something here to buy a little bit of time to allow for his reinforcements to arrive. Just pushing forward.
This is not easy. He's going to get the first kill there, but he's very low on health himself. Can't get a second one either. Flush to shut it down, getting a triple kill so far. And Pash walking up. He actually gets the one, but again, he's out of smoke. He doesn't have anything. He taps the bomb once. He's in a 1v2. He knows where 1 is, but I don't think he knows where JW is right now. And that's going to make it so tough. He goes for it again. Crim's now moving in from the high ground, and that's going to be the round for Fnatic. Map point here, 15-5. And Virtus.pro, it also resets their economy so badly. Yeah, this would be a comeback of the decade if they can make this work.
It's surprising that Taz decides to push. I think that's the main thing. Had he just sat and held the angle, perhaps he could have won that duel, and then Fnatic have to worry about the high ground, but he just gifts himself. That's where it all falls apart. Losing Neo and Connector isn't the end of the world necessarily, but Taz could have made all of the difference there for his team, and unfortunately it just doesn't pan out at all. Straight up aggression here from Virtus.pro, just turning into a big blender in Brown Halls, and there's the backstab coming in quickly here from Pop Dog as well, but Flusha, he's wise, he sees it coming. And it's going to be down to Pasha, long range with a CZ75 and a firing squad waiting for him. There's the flash, but Flusha hits the headshot, and it will be Fnatic with a dominant first map in this best-of-3 quarterfinal. 16-5, the final score, and VP, well, I mean, Anders, you said that they might have a hope on Inferno. I think that they really need to do everything they can to make it happen there.
Yeah, what a terrifying display of power and skill here from Fnatic on the first map. Second map will be coming up, of course, but not before we go to the analyst desk to see what Matt and the rest of them have for us.
As the crowd were toward the end of that, I have to say that was heartbreaking to see Virtus.pro go down in that fashion, but somewhat predictable. A lot of the same issues we mentioned, and you know, Virtus.pro, yes, they defined the meta on this map. They certainly aren't using it as a team anymore.
It was difficult to watch, especially the first 6 rounds or so. They take a heavy deficit going into that one. They're losing the pistol. There are some decent exchanges, but they're playing a very slow default-paced game. It wasn't until VP actually started doing that aggressions with like sending Pasha out first, trying to find that first pick, and they realized once they actually started running those tactics, they actually were getting some exchanges going in. They're getting opportunities to get the bomb down. Some very difficult rounds there. Every time they won a round, it'd get reset straight away. We saw Fnatic with like 16K throughout most of that map, to be honest. Every time that Fnatic even chipped away at them, they were just bouncing straight back. It was an okay first half, 11-4 on the T side after losing pistols, not the end of the world, but the CT half, you saw how that fell apart after losing the pistol as well.
Yeah, and even some of that bounce back coming back to the likes of JW, and it was Olaf on the rotate coming down through pop. Okay, Olaf got caught out by, I think it was Neo here, and that ridiculous shot there coming through, but then you can't account for another player coming from the exact same spot, and there you have it. As soon as you get a little bit to, you know, maybe Virtus Pro having a chance, Fnatic just like stomp it right out.
And that's the thing with Fnatic, that's the buddy system, right? Isn't that how they always get that trade kill? And every time you get a man advantage, if you don't have someone else there to hold the position, it's gone. We saw it in the last round as well. Taz up on the ledge, drops back in, Neo peeks to cover him off, Olaf gets the trade, boom, back to 4-4.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily trade kills. I mean, it's just, especially that opening that Henry mentioned, it's just not even getting kills. It's the openings to these rounds for them on the T side were just such a struggle. Fnatic shut everything down so quickly, and there was just no chance of recovery. They were just suffocating on this map.
Let's talk about that tag team combo towards the inside bomb side, though.
Yeah.
Olaf and Crims just doing absolute work. They're both finishing the first half like 16 frags each. They almost just funneled the T's to go outside every single time once they showed their dominance so much. And that kind of opened up opportunities for Olaf once again, just to be pushing inside and then just being even more of a factor when he's rotating and taking them down. What was interesting there was when VP were on their ecos and they're actually doing the wall of smokes just to get the bomb down. That was when they were getting the bomb down uncontested as well. It was kind of interesting. They weren't really trying to do those kind of rounds on their actual gun rounds going forward. It seems like they kind of resided, let's just get some money in these rounds and then we'll go back to this rushing mentality. When they were finding that first frag with Pasha getting the kill and like it opens up the map at least, there was some opportunities there, but at that point when they realized we should just be going YOLO and just getting in there every single time, it felt like they were too far gone on that stage.
There was 2 particular rounds that highlighted the different styles of Virtus Pro. One of old and one of where we are right now.
Yeah.
Both times it entailed Ivy pushing in, they get Taz left with the bomb inside Hell, and they have no plan to get him out of there. But round 14, they did do something a little bit more traditional, and that was the smoke off right side. Smoke off right side, flash off left, push through. You get 3 players down Ivy. That distracts the player at the back of A side, and then Pasha gets the kill. Finally, they run an old strategic play, and it works. What took so long, though?
This is the thing, they looked a little bit fragile going into that one. The first 5 or 6 rounds, it seemed they're kind of establishing how they're going to approach the game. It was a very slow-paced game, and then you're right, when they did do the Ivy strat and actually smoke you off the left-hand side and sticking as a unit, coming out and fragging and trading effectively, that looked promising for them, but they only tried it, once or twice maybe, and then it was getting shut down. It was flush on that outside bomb site. There was just consistently finding an opening frag. Wouldn't necessarily get more than one, but it was enough to slow them down, drop a Molotov on their feet as well, and he seemed like he was just controlling them as well. And as I mentioned before, the tag team combination, Olaf and Crims, they're just coming in the back. As soon as they're trying these tactics towards Ivy, they're the ones coming in and clutching it from the inside side.
At one point, I saw even Flusha, who's probably been, the most affected by Dennis joining, where he's taken over the in-game leading roles. Sometimes he's a little bit lower on the scoreboard these days. No big deal. So at one point in this match, he had like 175 ADR damage per round. It was insane.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And just to kind of summarize something that at least stuck in my mind, that Fnatic weren't flawless on train CT side for a little while. Like, that was the only map, I guess, that people could maybe chip away a little bit, but they look good on that. Or maybe just Virtus Pro didn't look that great either. That's the thing. So Fnatic got to run away with it. They got to land those shots. They got to play the style that they are so damn good at, which kind of ended up with the scoreline as it was.
And now we move to Inferno, where Fnatic have been a little bit shaky this weekend, but are mostly fearless, have an incredible T side, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the issues, because Virtus Pro have a massive hole to dig themselves out of. We're going to go down to OJ. He's got lots to talk about, and I dare say, OJ, I struggle to be you inside of this tense crowd right now.
You have indeed called it right. It is unbelievably tense down here at the moment. Just chatting to a few people in the auditorium here in Poland. Of course, VP is a Polish team. Everyone is super nervous now, especially after that first map. They believe that they could beat Fnatic. Will it happen in the second map? We will find out in just a second. First, though, thank you so much for all your tweets. Thank you so much for sending them to @IEM, #IEM as well. We've been asking you where you're watching this from, whether it be here in the Spodek or at home. And these are some of the people who've tweeted in where they are watching this. For instance, Yannick has got some sort of freaky threesome going on there. League and CS on the same screen. Ooh. Cornelio celebrating a day off. Look at the book on the table there. We were trying to work out the book. It seems to be, that is a great white shark fighting a killer whale. That is a fight. Killer Octopus. And Kelso as well, he's got the guys around, he says go VP. Will that happen in the second map? Well, we are going to find out. Please do drop us a tweet, let us know where you are watching it, at IEM, hashtag IEM. I wouldn't be as egotistical to tell you what my Twitter hashtag is, but if you want to get in touch, please do. Right then, the second map, it is VP taking on Fnatic, and it's on the way.